hell has Two and a Half Chicks been? We know we went totally MIA in 2024, but we are back and we are really excited to be back and talking to you straight. Is there any other way? Join us for today's intro back into the podcast where we chat about where we've been and what's going on now. All right, welcome back to Two and a Half Chicks. It's me, Tess, and Monica, and Brian.
Hi.
Hello.
And Two and a Half Chicks has been gone a while, but we're coming back.
Mm-hmm.
We took a little bit of a break, sabbatical. What do we call it?
A mental health couple months.
I think it was a life break.
Yeah, everybody had their own issues. Everybody was going through something new, something different, school, relationships, work, moving. Yeah, so it was a lot going on.
Yeah, therapy for me.
Go into that, Tess, if you want. Why don't we just kick it off and start with what you were doing while we were gone?
Geez, how long we've been gone? Let me see. We've been gone a while. I think it's 2024 we're looking back at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we've posted anything for 2024.
Well, I think we have some unreleased episodes that we're going to be releasing soon that will explain some of this. The very first episode coming out of the gate kind of explains where I was, talking about like life was kicking my ass in the world of open relating. And we took a step back from open relating. My relationship that I was in at the time is no longer. And I went into therapy to learn about how this whole going into open relating in a way I never had done it before affected me. And I realized there were a lot of things in my life that was not related to open relationships at all that I needed to work through. So that's what I've been doing the first half of this year.
I love that you always grow.
Mm-hmm.
Always moving forward. And Monica, you're the same way.
Oh, thank you.
I say this with people all the time. Like women, you guys are always looking for the next best thing. And I like to sit on the couch and watch Netflix.
I do some of that too.
Yeah. After you do your therapy and after you do your business stuff and your work day, right? Monica's going to school and doing all that other stuff.
Monica, are you still going to school?
I am still in school. It's been kicking my ass.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And it was good that we took a break because there was at one point, I just did not have time to do anything. I was just studying. And I loved it. I loved what I learned. I love the fact that I went back to school. I was talking to my daughter the other day and I told her that even if getting this master's degree, even if I don't get like a greater job or if I probably stay in the same job I'm at or nothing happens with it, I have absolutely no regrets doing it because I tell her that I felt like my brain was becoming foggy and like it wasn't capturing information like I used to when I was younger because I was always a fast learner. And I always felt like I wasn't grasping information. I wasn't learning. I wasn't reading very well anymore. Like I would read stuff and read it over and over and over again and not get it. But going to school, like, because I have to read all the time, because I'm, constantly reading the textbooks and I do my homeworks. I'm one of those students. I feel like my brain has had like a perk up. I don't know how to describe
like an awakening.
My brain is functioning so much better than I have for the 10 years before that. Like, I feel like a lot like when my brain was young. Now I can read like boring material again and get it. I'm like, okay, I don't like reading this, but I'm going to get through it. I just feel like my brain is just functioning so much better. So I just feel like my brain is sharper now. And I still have my ADD. Don't get me wrong, where like if I'm looking at something and somebody's talking to me, I'm not paying attention. That has not gone away because I had that when I was back in my youthful days. So my ADD is still there, but I definitely feel like my brain functionality has improved like so much. Never say that you're too old to learn something because you're not. Your brain is a muscle. And if you exercise it, it will get back into shape, just like you do with your arms and your legs and stuff like that.
I don't have the strength to jerk off my brain, Monica. I'm sorry. I'm happy living in the fog.
Okay. I see your expression on your face and I'm like, something's coming out of that comment.
Hey, if you like it, if that's what makes you happy. That's what makes you happy.
No, I'm completely drained. This year drained me. Well, it wasn't even the year, right? It was more or less, I think I'm in a different, like, see you, Tess, you went to therapy. Monica, you went to school, which was your therapy in the grand scheme of things. Mm-hmm. I went through life therapy. I think I'm starting to come to terms with I'm living here now. I bought a house here. It all happened so fast. We basically got told we have to get out of our rental And I got tired of people telling us you can't live here anymore. You got to move. You got to move. So Midori and I decided that we're going to buy a house, and we did. So it all happened so fast. We got told at the beginning of June, you need to get out by July 1st. And then we were like, that's not going to happen. There's no way we're getting out by July 1st. You can call anybody you want. You can get the cops. We're not leaving the house. We had trips planned. We were going to Japan for 2 weeks. She had to go to Seattle for business for a week in the whole month of July. So like the month of June, we found a realtor, looked at about 8 different houses. They were all god awful. They were all worth about $100,000, and you had to put $250 million into them to get them fixed up. It was just ridiculous. So we did that. We fired our realtor. We found a new realtor. As soon as we got the new realtor, everything fell into place. We picked the house. We closed by June 28th. July 2nd, we were out the door to Japan for 2 weeks. The people that we bought the house from did a rent back for the month of July. So we got back from Japan, left for a week. I was still packing up the other place. So we finally got moved in. We've been here for about maybe 3 weeks now. And I'm finally just starting to come down off of that whole thing. But I'm more content now. I still don't like it here. I'm going to be very upfront about it. I do not like it here. I mean, until the little one gets out of school, goes through school and everything, and I build some equity and sell this place, by the time I retire, I'm back to the East Coast. But right now, I found some peace, some content. I'm actually doing the podcast from my new home, which is wonderful. And it's relaxing.
I will add that it's a beautiful home. I saw it 2 weeks ago. It's beautiful.
Loved having you, and I'm still watering your plant.
Oh,
I guess that could have been taken in so many different ways, but it's a real plant that I'm watering. Yes.
So what now then? Like for everybody, what now?
I ran out of vacation days. I have 1 more week left of vacation. So I'm going to Vegas in October. My one buddy's turning 60. He's like a high roller. It's going to be fantastic. He's got a suite at the Horseshoe. And we're all going to hang out there for my buddy, his brother, my best friend is coming in, JT, the Sunday before. We're going to spend a couple of days in Reno together. And then I rented a car on the Thursday at the beginning of October. Thursday, we will be driving down to Vegas. We're going to do a one-way drive down and then spend the whole week, 4-day weekend there. And I'm going to fly back on Monday. So nice. My whole thing is waiting to next year. I want to plan some trips. I want to get the house fixed up a little bit, and I want to just start enjoying and stop being so aggravated and annoyed but where I live and all the other stuff. My job is great. The house is great. I got a lot more people. I'm having, people over now. We're doing barbecues. So everything's going to start to fall into place.
That's awesome.
You're choosing happiness.
Choosing happiness right now. Yeah, because the alternative was making me nauseous every day.
Isn't that funny that the only thing that really changed was your perspective? Like, yes, your house changed, but it's amazing what a different perspective will do to our lives.
Yeah. I've been living off of the perspective that I read one time. The difference between a weed and a flower is someone's opinion. Your perspective in life means so much.
Absolutely.
And because M is the most laid back, let me do whatever the hell I want person, I can't complain about anything. She's like, I complain about a lot. Trust me, I complain about everything, but it's like, she just lets it go over her head. She never argues. She laughs at me, which calms me down, and she just accepts me for who I am. It's great. So it's like you said, it's all about perspective. But you change your perspective, your whole life changes. And now I got long-term goal, like my long-term goal. Like, when you have you plan a vacation and you got something to look forward to. So those weeks and months go by and you're like, oh man, this is great. The vacation is going to be here, right? That's what I'm doing. My vacation is when I retire and I get to leave this area.
Do you think there's a chance that, Brian, you're going to come to that day in 10, 15 years and you're going to think, I don't want to leave. I like it here now.
I thought about that too. And right. Nobody knows what the future holds. And I'm sitting here making plans while God's busy laughing, right? That's the saying. I could get hit by a truck tomorrow. I could have a heart attack tomorrow. I don't know, but I truly do want to be on the East Coast. I'd like to be in North Carolina, truth be told. My ex-brother-in-law is down there. My buddy, whose birthday is going to be in Vegas, the 60th birthday. He lives in that area. They got a casino in that area where I'm looking, like it's called Cherokee, the area. And I just love it. It's all woods and there's lakes and stuff. So yeah, I would really like to see myself with it. I mean, I will say going to Japan did change my perspective a little bit because the humidity there was so bad. It was 100% humidity. It was like, it was horrible. It was like 105 degrees every day. And it just brought me back to Jersey. I don't know if I want to deal with that humidity.
In North Carolina has a lot of it.
Well, it's mild. It's a lot more mild than Jersey and Georgia, Florida. You know what I mean? It's like a little sweet spot. But I got to tell you, living out here where I'm at, it's 90 degrees today. I was in jeans. You know, the fact that you don't sweat is wonderful.
That's great. Monica, where are you at?
Well, I have to finish school. Thinking I'm going to finish in end of 2025. I have 1, 2, 3. I'm going to say 3 full courses and 2 half courses, and then I'll be done. And I have to decide if I want to go to the state where my school is at to walk for the graduation.
Of course, you should do that.
I probably will.
I'll fly out there and meet you.
Oh, thanks, Brian.
I totally would do that.
Yeah. I'm sure my kids would come with me too. So that will be like the end of next year. And then I started my bucket list. I mentioned way back when on things I wanted to do, where I wanted to start the Appalachian Trail. I actually did that in May, June of this year. I went with my cousin. We went to Georgia and we walked 0.05% of the Appalachian Trail. Oh my God.
Hey, that's about the percentage is for me to want to go back to school, Monica. So I get it.
Yeah, it was so hard. We were so exhausted afterwards. We didn't even change. We didn't go take a shower, nothing. We didn't even care. We went straight to the restaurant and all had like big steaks. And then I said I needed to have ice cream because ice cream is my weakness. That was funny, but that was fun. So I've been planning more trips with my cousin to do more sections of the Appalachian Trail. Thinking about going to Dallas and visiting my friend that I used to have in LA. She's one of my dear friends. And then I'm thinking that after I graduate, I want to do a family trip to my native country, where my heritage is, where I was born, even though I grew up here, El Salvador. So
I want to go with you there too.
Really? You won't be afraid? Everybody's afraid to go to El Salvador.
No, the only thing I'm afraid of is not speaking the language.
Oh, well.
That's the only thing I care about at these. Like when I go to a foreign country, I don't get scared.
Okay.
But if I can't speak the language, it just freaks me out.
There's a high crime rate in El Salvador.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Okay. I work with 2 El Salvadorians now.
Oh, really? 3, including me.
Well, yeah, with you, but like 2 young ones, and they talk about it all the time. So, no, I would love to go back and see that.
I've been there. Last time I was there, I was 16, and that was a long time ago. So I'm excited to go back.
Do you still have family there then?
Distant family, not immediate family. I don't have any immediate family in El Salvador. All my immediate family is here. Everybody I care about is here.
Is there a red light district?
There used to be. They had a red zone and they had the zona rosa, which was the pink zone. The pink zone was supposed to be the nicer area.
That's the pink zone right there.
Yeah. I don't know how it is now because the gang crimes and everything kind of changed the country a lot. So like I said, I haven't been there a long time. So I don't know how it is, but go with my family. I know that for many years, it's like, don't wear any jewelry, don't wear any watches, don't wear anything that makes you look like you have money because you will get robbed.
Yeah. I was asking for a friend, by the way. Just that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Brian. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to find over there, but it'd be nice. I'm hoping I can take my sons and my daughter with me too. I don't know if we can take my granddaughter, but so that's like what I have planned.
You do what you want. We're never going to afford to be able to do anything, so you might as well do it. What about you, Tess? What are the aspirations for the year now?
Actually, I learned a lot about putting myself first in the first half of the year, something I've never been good at doing. And listening back over some of our other podcasts, I remember you saying that you always put you first.
Yeah,
and I
100%.
said I could learn a lot about that. So what I'm trying to do now is exactly what I want to do. I've been pulling back from a lot of things in life, not being obligated to go here, go there. Like as we've talked about, my husband's a traveling musician. I go way too often with him. I don't want to go that often anymore. I want to stay home and do my own thing.
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to work on myself now physically, now that I've done the mental work. I want to clean up my house. I've been in my house 19 years. So opposed to you, Brian, who just moved in and you want to fix up your house, I want to clean out my house, get rid of crap, clutter, fix it up.
No, I get that. We did a lot of that getting into the house, and we're still in the process of doing it. But and you're right, Tess. One thing about having a clear conscience and a clear mind is having a clear space.
Right.
You know, and it's wonderful when you start decluttering and you live minimalistically in the grand scheme of things. You know, it's just wonderful. And I tell her, look, now that we've downsized and stuff, and our living room looks big, doesn't mean fill it with a whole shitload of stuff. If it's open space, it can be open space. We don't need to fill it with garbage. So I completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah, we just, we've been in this house 19 years. We've been accumulating stuff together for 25.
Yeah.
So I just want to start cleaning stuff out that we don't need. And it's like, I'm also going through this whole thing where like birthdays, Christmases, all that. We don't need stuff.
Yep.
It's just been like a clearing stage for me. I think it's just about getting back to who I am instead of who everyone wants me to be.
Yeah.
And it's like not even like people didn't even always ask. It just offered all the time. So I can't even put the blame on anyone else. It's just myself. So now I'm just like figuring out who I am as a person, as a wife, as a sexual person. Like I really just am getting to know myself.
Awesome.
Because it's time to stop just letting life. I've been very reactive to life instead of like figuring out what I truly want. So that's my focus right now.
I have a couple of young people that work for me, and I literally, just like we're just talking about now, I tell them all the time, I want you to understand, like, you're like the one gets mad about everything. Somebody says something to her and she gets angry. She, you could see it on her face. She turns her back and she walks away. And I'm like, why? What are you doing that for? This is a job. You're choosing to be here. This person's going to say something that's going to aggravate you. Why? Having this 54-year-old perspective now, it's so much different. Like, I guess when I was her age, I was a little more hot off the handle and everything as well. But like, just to be able to understand it now, and it's scary that it takes us 50 years to kind of understand it. I know there's some more evolved people in the world that probably figured this out much sooner. But for me, it took a long time. And it took me to move to the West Coast or be around more of these people with this more laid back personality to kind of absorb some of it, like through osmosis.
I wonder if the one who's had the most impact on you, and I wonder it's probably true, is M.
Yeah.
Because she's like that. Like if you had met somebody who wasn't like M, laid back and chilled stuff and patient, maybe you wouldn't have gotten to that point.
That's fair.
You can't be in a long-term relationship without that person rubbing off on you to some degree.
Yeah. But it's just, I got to tell you, I am enjoying, other than the aches and pains, I'm enjoying my 50s right now.
100% agree.
Yeah, it's just the pain. I just don't like the shoulder, the neck pains, the joint, getting out of bed sounding like Rice Krispies.
Do you have pain in your hands?
Yeah, arthritis in the hands.
Like my hands hurt all the time. It's like, why do they hurt?
You lose the body, but you gain the mind, right? Hopefully it just continues.
Yes, everything hurts. Every time I get out of the car, it's like, I gotta stretch. And I don't care how I look. Like, I'll sit there and I'm like stretching my legs just to start walking. I probably look like a dork and I don't care really.
I think too, like the hand thing, more of us are affected by it because of these phones.
Oh,
like,
that's fair.
I feel like being on my phone all the time is probably exacerbated whatever. Like maybe I wouldn't have gotten it this early, Yeah,
that's fair. Maybe that's why my neck always hurts too, because I'm always got the phone, looking down, instead of just who walks around like with their arms straight up in the air, looking straight at the phone? Nobody.
I was looking at myself in the mirror sideways the other day, and I felt like I had like a little hump on my neck. It was driving me crazy. So now I have to research like how to get rid of that little hump on the back of your neck because you sit at the computer too much and, you tilt your neck forward.
Yeah.
So then your shoulders change. Your whole neck area changes.
Your 12-pound head doubles in weight when you lean forward like 2 inches. That's like just, it's a fact, right? Like the more you lean forward, gravity pulls it and makes it a heavier weight. I forgot what the hyperkyphosis or something like that. I forgot the name of that hump thing, but like, I don't think you're getting a hump, Monica, but you go online right now, as such as we talk about these stupid phones, right? There's a lot of information in these sons of bitches. They'll tell you how to fix that hump. I miss the days when I could remember 58 phone numbers.
Yeah. I think I saw somebody's phone number today and I was like, whose number is that? And they're like, oh, it's this person's number. I'm like, oh. And then for the life of me, my daughter changed. So my daughter had an old number and I had memorized it and it was fine. And then she had to go and change to a new number. And I still have not memorized the new number. No matter how many times I look at it, I still have the old number in my head. Like, why'd you go change your number? You had that number for 10 years. But she hasn't had this new number for 10 years. So I need like 7 more years at this point to memorize this stupid new number.
Just in time for her to change it again.
Yeah.
I had a funny story. Well, it was funny to me. I'll tell it real quick because Em's tired of hearing it. I called Monica yesterday because I was so angry at the time. So I had Renewal by Anderson come to the house to give me a quote on windows. Long story short, they quoted me 11 windows, 2 sliding glass doors, $81,000. They quoted me.
Wow.
81. You heard it right. $81,000. And they said, well, you're a return client because I saw you had a house in New Jersey. We'll knock it down to 60,000. This is like a $20,000 tops. I mean, that's like the highest of the highest end. 20 grand to get 11 windows, labor. You know what I mean? They try to charge me 60 grand.
Wow.
So I told the lady straight up, that ain't fucking happening. And I laughed. I said, you could leave now. And I kind of just laughed all the way. She must have heard me laughing from outside the door, outside onto the driveway. So we went to bed that night and I'm lying in bed and it's like, we finally get settled in and she put her Bane mask on, her CPAP machine and everything. And I'm laying there and I start laughing. She's like, what's the matter? I go, $60,000. I still couldn't get over it. I just hope that no one ever uses Renewal by Anderson ever again until they lowered her prices.
Take out a loan to get your windows done.
Yes. It's ridiculous.
I don't know if they think they can charge that because houses are so overpriced now, but I just did my windows. They weren't Renewal by Anderson. They were something Power. I forget the name. Power something. They're good windows and they were installed well. Can't complain. They all open, close, no problems. And they did lower my air conditioning costs this summer. So love them. I think it was like 10 windows. One of them was a double slider. So I guess it was technically like 11 and it was 11,000. Even if like I could see even maybe 30,000. I heard somebody else says they knew somebody who paid 40,000 for their Anderson windows.
Yeah, they're expensive windows. I get it, but it's just, it's a bit much, but that was part of what I've been doing this year.
Makes me want to move into an apartment and let the maintenance crew handle my windows.
There's something huge to be said about that later in life. You take all the money you get from your home, you sell it and just go into a rental and let them fix everything.
Problem is they're raising your rent every time you turn around.
Yeah, that, and then you don't know who's going to fall asleep with a cigarette in their mouth in the unit below you.
Or they could decide to sell and then you have to get out.
That's fair, but there's something to be said about not having to worry about shit. And by the way, there's a movie that just came out. It's coming out on Thursday called Afraid. And I can't wait to go see it because it's about like AI. It looks pretty cool. The preview that I saw real briefly was there was a guy sitting there and he's in like the work office, like HR's office. And there is like a just ball there that's glowing. And I guess it's the AI of the office. It's like, you don't seem pleased with your job. And he's like, how did you even get my email? And HR is in the office. Like, how did you get my, she's like, I have tech to everything. It says here, I hate my fucking job. I hate my boss. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. He's like, shut up.
It's like Jexy. You remember that show?
Yes.
Movie Jexy?
Yeah. So it's just like, AI is ruining people's lives,
Should be an interesting movie. I have to digress. I'm a late bloomer on this series of movies, but Monica, did you see the 365 movies on Netflix?
No.
I didn't either. What's that?
Holy hell. You like sex in movies?
Yeah?
3 of them. 365. It's about I didn't watch it for a long time because the first one is about a mafia guy who kidnaps a woman and holds her hostage until he gives her a year to fall in love with him, but doesn't treat her bad. And I thought, oh my God, I am not going to be able to watch this content.
Yeah.
But no. It's not like that at all.
Okay.
Like, it's not like that at all. And literally, like, it's because he got enamored with her and he wants her to fall in love with him. It's not, he doesn't treat her bad. He doesn't it turns into a love story very quickly, but there's 3 movies in the series and the sex scenes are good.
It's called 365?
At least are the second one and third one's not about kidnapping?
It's the first one's not about kidnapping. I mean,
it seems like it is, but it isn't. Okay.
It's just like the start to get her in front of him, and then it becomes about their relationship.
Okay, I'll watch it.
I didn't watch it for the longest time because of the log line, but then I met somebody or was talking to somebody who said, these are really good movies, you're going to love them, the steamy scenes, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I'll watch.
Okay, I'll watch them. As long as it's about that, but I tell you, I will not, whether it's be a man or a woman versus man, I wouldn't like it about where somebody kidnaps something and then they fall in love with them. I would be icked out by it.
Isn't that called like Florence Nightingale syndrome or something?
Yeah, no, that's
Stockholm syndrome.
Look, it's so not, like, it's not the, trust me.
I trust you. I'll put them on my wish list.
All I heard in this whole conversation was, oh, Monica, somebody got kidnapped. Oh, fuck that. But they were fucking the whole time. Okay, I'll watch it. That's all I heard through this whole thing.
Look, they're beautiful people. It takes place in mostly in Italy, and the scenery is beautiful. They're dressed beautifully. They eat well. It's just a beautiful scenery. And there's this story going on about the mafia families and everything. And she ends up getting, I don't want to tell the story, but
okay.
Is it called 365?
365 series. It's 365. I think it's the next 365 or 365 days.
Okay, it's on Netflix.
You're going to see all 3 of them.
Okay.
But I'm just telling you, I am going to watch them over and over again because the scenes are really good.
Damn.
Really good.
Okay.
The scenes are really good. You don't see movies like this very often where they're not horribly violent and sexual, right? So it's we were talking about this in the first season of our podcast, how seeing sex in movies is it's great, but you don't see it very often.
Yeah, not anymore. Mm-hmm.
These are I think they're well done. I mean, you can pick apart the story all day long. Yeah. To me, okay. I wasn't watching it for the story. There were elements of the story. I was interested in the story, but.
Ooh. I watched Sex Life for the sex. I didn't care about the story. The story was ridiculous, but I still watched it.
I found this to be better than Sex Life. That's just my own opinion. But
I'll digress a little further. Tess, did you ever watch that movie that I told you guys about with Elliot Page?
No. Remind me of the name of it.
I forgot the name of it. You have to look it up. She's a lesbian.
Did you ever watch One Day?
One Day.
Which one is One Day?
I told you to watch the show. It's a series, a limited series, 1 season series, One Day.
Did I watch One Day?
I told you to watch it.
I don't remember.
I'll look it up. Mine came up first, though. So I got to tell you, I had to rewind it a couple times.
Okay.
I know there's a total digress, but when you mentioned movies, I was like, I've been waiting to ask you that.
Okay, I'll watch it, Tess. If you recommend it, I'll watch it.
I watched the 3rd one just on Sunday, Mm-hmm. And this girl, she's a pistol. She's not even afraid of the guy. There's no... That's such a small part of the story. It's just how it gets started.
They gloss over the kidnapping.
Yeah, I mean the whole kidnapping stuff. There was something I had to skip the beginning because there's there's a murder in the very beginning. But there was something where she became really important to him and she didn't know it, and so he was like, I got to make this girl fall in love with me. So he brings her to this beautiful fucking chateau or whatever. And it doesn't take long before the relationship between them totally changes. But she's pissed. She's angry. She's like, fuck you. You brought me here against my will.
Break that dick off.
Right. Well,
that's how angry she was.
And then another man enters the picture. So.
Oh, walking the thin line into Tessa's world.
Just saying. I can appreciate it. Just all I'm saying. Hey, did you miss us? Well, we totally missed you, and we're so excited that you're back with us. Thanks to our producer, Dee, for getting the show back out to our listeners. Make sure you're subscribed so you know right away as new episodes are released. Here's how you can find us. Email is 2.5chickspod@gmail.com. 2.5 Chicks on Instagram, and now we're on YouTube too. 2.5 Chicks on YouTube. Subscribe. It is awesome to be back.